Greetings and salutations, and we're back with Ashes of Creation. Now, I have played my rogue a little bit. I got my summoner to 7. I played my rogue yesterday for probably 4 or 5 hours. He's 7, almost, I think he's halfway to 8. You do level slowly in this game, and I will say that right now. This leveling process is a little slow. But that's a good thing. It's to give, a sense of. I didn't drop a crate. I don't know what they're telling me about drop crates. Anyway, I spent a lot of time leveling professions yesterday, and I was just playing the rogue, just having a grand old time, and I got access to poisons. Now, I'm going to say this. I do like how the poisons function in this game. And that's because it's a short duration poison. It's for 10 seconds. And that is my point that I want to get to. So I have to go all the way south, down and around, try to get through all this property, this territory, to get to a harbor. Reason being, in my inventory, you can see a smattering of things. Now, you don't know what these are till I highlight over them. You can see one of them is a ship's wheel. But I have the sails, the helm, the rudder, the hull, the harpoon launcher, the fish holding tank, the rowboat, and then, of course, a mining satchel. My whole idea is to go there, put my boat in the water, and go fishing. So we're going to try to get there. We're going to try to actually make it. And yes, I named my rogue after the rogue of the same name from Fire Emblem. The Angel of Death rogue, where he just teleports behind people and just slaughters them. I did that because I loved Fire Emblem growing up, so I named him that. And he's a Renkai rogue, so he's an orcish looking dude. Because at the time that was the new race that came out, so I figured give it a shot. Ooh, wait, hold up. Okay, some of those are under-leveled. That one's a 5. Those are 6s. Give me 2 seconds here. Oops, did not want to switch to that. Dude, that guy hits hard. And yes, the poison I have equipped does heal me. We're over here to kill this dude. Like, the ability to do the bleeding and the hemorrhaging thing is, I think, tantamount to kind of a playstyle where you almost have to play as like a rogue that does just damage over time abilities. Yeah, I mean, you might be able to make a burst damage rogue where you can actually burn down your enemies by doing basically front-loaded damage. I don't know yet. I have never actually been able to. Ooh, that would have been bad. I thought it was just gonna be a little drop down. It is not a little drop down. I hate how that keeps popping up and telling me, "Oh, you have points you can spend." No, I don't. Skill book. I have nothing I can spend. Stop telling me I do. It's a graphical bug. I would love it to bring it to their attention, but I know that if I submit the bug, they'd be like, "What is he talking about?" Well, just look. You'll, get on and play a character. You'll know. Those level 6s down there as well? 5. Yep. Those are 5s and 6s. Now, if I had to rate how broken classes are in terms of, and I use the word broken in a, not in the literal sense like the game is broken, don't play it, but broken is in like the power spike they have versus the difficulty to play them. okay? If that makes any amount of sense. And that is... Oh. A little bit of difficulty loading in that chunk. Ooh, what's this? What level are they? 7s? Alright, that's fine. The thing is when you have certain classes like Rogue, when they get poisons, become absolutely crazy strong. Like, they pick up a lot of power with poisons. Up until that point, they just kind of... I don't know, they don't feel like they are putting up enough damage. They feel like you're going to struggle. But once you get poisons, it's kind of ridiculous. Highwayman Performer. Now, Bard, on the other hand, to me, Bard is like... Bard's the really big one, because Bards... I'm in a bit of a tough here. Give me 2 seconds. That's a level 10 Slate Wolf. Now, Bards are just kind of broken straight away. And I do say that because Bards can pull multiple things at the same time and have no issues whatsoever. Just absolutely destroying all of them and just walking away like, whatever, it was Tuesday. You know, it's your typical Tuesday. Bards feel kind of broken straight away. But when you look at it, it kind of makes sense. You want your classes that are support classes and healing classes to feel powerful straight away because you want people to be... Pardon me, I have a lot of gas. You want it to be... You want players to play it and not feel like they're being punished for playing a healer. Know what I mean? Whereas, if you play a DPS class or a tank, you don't... Like, the players know that you're gonna do damage, but you're not gonna have the healing. When you play a support class, you're like, okay, I'm gonna have the healing, but I'm not gonna have the damage. Which is not entirely true at all, because you can literally have both. So it's kind of interesting how they balance that and give bards and clerics and other healing classes a really strong start, but then they might taper off later. I don't know if they do, but they might. Bards start out incredibly strong. Like, you get a bard, I think you can only get like level 2 or level 3. You could start pulling packs of 5 and 6 and just like AoE grind yourself. Which is one of the things they try to tell you in this game, is to just just to grind to get levels. As I looked up, fastest way to level in this game. And I don't like the whole AI. I don't like the whole go grind a whole bunch to gain levels, when you could do both at the same time and you can do like mining. Now, here's where I love this game, and this is where I lost a lot of time yesterday. I was doing professions, a lot of them. A lot of mining, a lot of wood cutting, some metal working, and for each profession you do, and for each thing you do, so if you go and process, I don't know if I have anything on me that I could show you to process. Okay, yeah, the Eastern Hemlock wood, okay? Now, I have a whole bunch of wood down here that I did not process. As you can see, it's all regular Eastern Hemlock, because I didn't have enough money. It costs money to process them, but if you process Eastern Hemlock wood, depending on the amount you process, and depending on how much the rarity is of the wood you process, gives you a large chunk of EXP. I processed 5 heroic Rough Rime No, it wasn't Rough Rhyme. It was... What was it? It was the same... These things. Not copper. It was the other one. Tendonite. That's what it was. I processed 5 heroic Tendonite last night. And that 5 heroic Tendonite that I processed... Whoa. You're a 10 and you're a 9. Well, let's get into trouble, shall we? I did not want to switch back to that. Are you kidding me? And I'm dead. There's all my copper. That starts me all the way back at... Oh, where was it? Wow, starts me all the way back here. Didn't I change it? I did. I changed it to this one. Don't know why it sent me back, but whatever. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten into trouble. Who knows? Anyway, you get a substantial amount of EXP by processing ores. And when you process the ores and everything, like I lost a whole bunch of stuff. Whoever loots that body is going to be high on the hog. They're going to be just tap dancing in the streets. And believe me, they will loot it. They'll see blue and they'll just be like, I'll take that. And they'll see this blue copper fragments and they're going to be like, oh. Yeah, you could level your character doing professions. I just don't want to. I didn't want to drop my boat. Didn't drop any on my boat. Good. And yes, I even made a rowboat. I could have put the rowboat in the water and just... I'm a fool. I am a fool. I've got an idea. Hopefully this is leading me out. It says hammer rest, so I'm hoping on it. I'm going to put my rowboat in the water and just row my way all the way out. Okay, it's a tank that's AoE grinding on level 3s. Oop, 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 on the elevator. Now, they did implement something that you could tell the guy that's running the elevators, hey, the elevators aren't working, and then he teleports you up here. So if the elevators ever broke, there is an implementation that says the elevators are broke, and it will port you. So, that's a good thing. I have new weapon skills. Come on, hurry up. Now, I've not played a tank character in quite a while. I played one a while ago, but then I don't know. I don't really care for them. But where I was an idiot is I could have just put my rowboat in the water and just rowed all the way out to the harbor through the water, and then just gotten off the rowboat, built my boat, and then been like set sail for sails. You know what I mean? But this is part of the game, is this whole, exploration, moving around. Yeah, you get penalized experience because you go into EXP debt for dying, which I do like that. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people kind of dislike the fact that there's a penalty. Well, let me tell you, I'm going to use this backdrop of Ashes of Creation, which I think is a superior game to World of Warcraft in almost every regard. World of Warcraft back in the beta had EXP penalties. 100% he had EXP penalties. And I think when the game comes out again, because they're going to relaunch it again, and they're doing, hopefully, what they want to do is called Classic Plus. They want to update, because I took a survey, and anybody can take the survey. You can actually just type in WoW Classic Plus survey. I took the survey, and what they're hoping to implement is they're hoping to implement things like updated graphics, Unreal style type graphics. They're hoping to implement class changes to make other specs viable like they did in SOD, but not through the usage of runes, but by going through their talent trees and actually fixing them. They also want to expand upon the talent trees, and they also want to fix them again. I'm going to set this as my respawn point just in case I die again. Yes, I have. Anyway, yeah, they want to do that. They want to make it so that you can have comprehensive abilities and make certain classes. Like, they want to be able to make prop paladins good, ret paladins good, so on and so forth. And so one of the suggestions I dropped during their survey, because if anybody ever gives me a survey on a product, right, on a product that I've played, I will give them information on how they can make their product better. Not necessarily the direct reasoning as to why it would be better, but what the product used to be was far superior than what the product is today. The product in beta was a superior product. And, of course, I'm going to be met with naysayers saying, well, you didn't really play the beta. Yes, I did, actually. I played the beta when it was when you had paladins that had Crusader Strike and Holy Strike. And Crusader Strike was like a Holy Sunder Armor. It increases the damage that Holy damage dealt to the target by a number, a flat number. So this made Holy Priest's DPS viable. This is why the Holy Talents in a Holy Priest tree in vanilla, when you look at it, those talent points in the Holy Tree showed things like plus to crit, plus to damage. There's a reason why. Holy was supposed to be a flexible spec where you could do both hybrid DPS and healing. And it fell flat on its face because it was not effective for the Horde. But then again, Horde was supposed to have paladins. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would the Horde have paladins? Well, let me explain it. The Horde were meant to have undead paladins. I know that doesn't make much sense, right? Because they're undead. But hear me out. If you go to Scarlet Monastery Graveyard, okay? Now, this is in WoW Classic and SOD. You can't do it in retail. It won't work. Or Pandaria. That won't work. Mind you, I don't play any of it. I'm still retired. And I'm going to be permanently retired. Now, I may try it when, if they bring out WoW Classic Plus, I may try it. But probably not for long, because I am curious as to how they're going to do it. I'll probably just do the PTR for WoW Classic Plus, if they do have it. So just get on the PTR and fart around in that. Because I don't want to do the whole, leveling thing again. But in Scarlet Monastery Graveyard, there's an undead rare spawn called Fallen Hero. Now this undead rare spawn called Fallen Hero wears the Scarlet armor set that Paladins used to have. It was supposed to be the Horde version of the Paladin set. It had a little winged red helmet, you know, and it had scarlet armor and everything. That was supposed to be the paladin set. It's an undead. And then you watch his abilities when he attacks you. He attacks you and he casts Crusader Strike. And you look at your debuff and it says increases holy damage taken. And then you look and he hits you with Holy Strike, which is like Heroic Strike. And you take extra holy damage. So it's weapon damage plus whatever as holy. That's what it was supposed to be back in the day. But it was so strong that nobody played warriors. Everybody just rolled paladins and said, why would I want a warrior when I could heal and do DPS and tank? All with this one class. So they nerfed it. And they changed paladins to the sealed judgment system. I think they need to bring Heroic or Holy Strike back and make Crusader Strike the way it used to be. So Horde was supposed to be paladins. Horde was supposed to have Shaman and Paladin. And Alliance was supposed to have Paladin and Druid. This is why Shaman get Manatide Totem. This is why Druid, see what I mean? It's gone. They took it. Person that came through just said, mine, and took it away. And when they took it away from, you know, paladins and everything like that, that's where I think they ruined it, right? I mean, to be perfectly honest with you. Now let's see. If I take the boat and I go down this river, I could go down the entire river. That's sweet. Because I could just put my rowboat in the water and row. Nice. Ow. At any rate, ooh, can I chop this tree? Yeah. Not right now because I don't have apprentice lumberjacking, but I could if I had apprentice lumberjacking. Nice. Drop anchor. Raise anchor. Slow going, but I don't think I'm going to get aggroed. That's a plus. My rowboat has 20,000 health. Are those ravens underwater? Those ravens are underwater. Well, as I continue with this whole thing, the paladins were supposed to be a dual faction class, and I think they should bring back paladins being a dual faction class and make Horde have Horde have shaman only, or, you know, shaman and paladin, and make the Alliance have druid and paladin. But this raises the question when you look at it. Why did they change the game? Why did they nerf paladins the way they did? And now they kind of want to go back to making the game the way it wanted to be made. So I may just take a look at it on the PTR, kind of fart around with it there. I don't really want to go back to playing WoW. I quite enjoy this more. I mean, yeah, the boat's a bit slow, but it's safe. You know what's going to be funny? Is if I'm just rowing like this and somebody just sees a guy rowing a rowboat and they're like, brother, where'd you get a rowboat? I made it. But this is what's so cool about this game is you could do anything and be anything you want. If you wanted to build a fishing boat, which is what I kind of did, except I put a harpoon on it, a harpoon launcher just in case. Because you never know what you're going to run into on the high seas. Put a harpoon launcher on it. It's like, if I want to fish, I could just fish and then throw them right there in the fish tank. and then take my boat back and then sail it right back into harbor and sell it. Sell all the fish for money. Who knows? Maybe I sail them across the sea to the next continent and then sell the fish over there. Aha. But my goal is to go get to the ocean and get on my boat. Now, those boats aren't cheap. They took... Each piece in this inventory took 100 logs. Except for the helm. The helm took 50 logs, I believe. Okay, Brown Bear, that's a little weird. Shouldn't you be attacking, like, my boat and not me? Anyway. They need to fix some of the water, some of the spawns in the water. But no, each one of these pieces, like, the ship's helm took 50 logs. The advanced sails took 50 logs, which they would have been, you know, advanced sails white. But because I use higher grade materials, they're green. The rudder was 50 logs. That was 100. That was 100. That was another 50, I believe. And this was 40. So it's not easy to build a boat. Like, I was logging for a long time. Deer, Highwayman Healer, Highwayman Raider, Highwayman Archer, Highwayman Raider. I wonder, though, the one thing I do wonder is, you have to be at a harbor to build your boat. Because you have to talk to a harbor master to construct your actual full-on vessel. Now, if I make myself like a sloop or a corsair or whatever, and I bring it back up this waterway, I want to know if I can man the harpoon and just blow these things to smithereens. Because if I can just blow these things to smithereens from the water, then that's what I'm going to do. I also love the fact that there's a lamp on the front of it and it actually has illumination. That's so cool. And you're going to have to use the rowboat to get out to your actual boat. Now, the key of being a rogue here is, let's say I get the boat, I get the vessel, right? And I'm like, I'm going out on the sea. So I got on the sea, and there's my boat. And what are people going to find out? Well, they're going to see a boat. But if I'm stealthed on the boat, they're going to be like, ah, okay, free boat. Stone Slipper Otter, level 15. Yikes. They're going to see the boat, and they're going to be like, ah, free boat. But I'm stealthed on the boat. So then they get on the boat to board it and take it away. And all of a sudden, they're getting a dagger in the back full of poison. Welcome to my boat, dirtbag. Man, this place is outer space. I think I'm going to be otter time before I get there. Too many otter puns. Firegate Ruins Independent. Now, see, when the game officially launches, you're going to have... Whoa, not there. When the game officially launches, you're going to have all of these territories be neutral, and people are going to rush to go get this stuff built. But you see here, it says level 1, active players 0. What's out there? I kind of want to go see. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way there today, but I have to round this corner and come out here, and then I get my boat made there, and then I can come out this way and go all the way out and around, down the horn, all the way around here. I could go to the spit of sand in the desert here, and come up and around this way and go see what it is. This is by far the most calm boat ride I think I've ever seen. And I like how, if you notice, I'm turning with like W, A, or S, or D, if you look at that, the oars actually independently go in the water. It does, like, those little things like that are what really, to me, sell a game. Because, like, anybody can make a game and be like, oh, yes, well, we've done this. Okay, but do your oars independently move when I go to turn? That matters. I'd imagine that there's high seas piracy too, because you can go out there and get PvP'd, and people can take your stuff, and they can become pirates and rogues. Not rogues like this, but rogues like ne'er-do-wells and skullduggers. Steal stuff and then try to sell it. And fence it. That's the word. Fence it. It's possible. This does have a system like that. Kind of like Archeage. And the fun part about this is, let's say you do that. Let's say you go that route and you start PvPing people, right? If they're flagged for PvP, that's fine. They can get flagged for PvP and then they die, and then you can loot their tradable items, like the materials, like I had, right, that dropped. If they die in what is called non-consensual PvP, which exists, you get flagged as the PvPer. Now, this may have changed, but this is the way it was prior. You get flagged as the PvPer. You just killed the player. Now, because you're flagged as the PvPer, anybody that kills you not only gets... Oh, man, that's upstream? Well, of course it is, which means I'm going to have to get out and go on foot, and there's a lot of ravens. Right-click this in the small boat for travel. Can I put it away? Can. Use my stealth to lower my aggro radius. Because of things like that. No need to start attracting all the attention. But nevertheless, you can have that non-consensual PvP. So now when you die, what happens is you no longer just drop materials, but you drop equipment as well. So there's a punishment to the system. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to go out and go ganking. Okay, you can gank. Gank all you want. Just don't die. Because the person that drops you for ganking can steal your good items. It's at random, but they can steal your good items. And if you do go ganking, make sure you have a backup item. Don't spot me. Because then I don't want to be spotted by an otter. This way. Don't want to be spotted by a raven either. I mean, I could probably take one level 11 raven. Ooh, if I go down and around this way, it takes me to the harbor quicker. Interesting. That's a rock elemental. A 2-star rock elemental. That's bad. That's something you need like a 5-man group for, just so you know. A level 1 deer next to these level 11 rock elementals. Not sure if bait or trolling. But you could take a look at some of like stuff like this, right? Mirageborn Sandrock Great Mace. 402 intelligence, mag crit, mag speed, power, 5,332 power. Now imagine, you're a spellcaster, say a summoner or a mage. You have that. You die because you went ganking, and that drops. Somebody loots that, and now they can sell it. Pretty cool system if it stays in the game. No, thank you. A pretty slow moving fella. Okay, well, he broke aggro. Wonder, can I go fishing in this pond? Or are there set fishing zones? There's a highwayman raider there. It's not necessarily a good thing. Alright, I'm going to go right down the side of this mountain out here to the Harbor Master. And there it is. The start of the open seas journey. All we need is to get down there safely. And the overseas journey begins. Adult Western Larch. I can chop that down. There's the harbor. Kalen brown bears. There's an otter right there. Good thing I didn't drop. Oh, that'd be bad. We're going to go over here. It's a pretty far drop no matter what you do. Nope. And we're back here. And I lost more material. I was hoping to get there, but alas, it's not that simple. We're going to process some timber so I could show you what I'm talking about with getting levels with whatever stuff we have left. That's not here. It's the other one. But you can see I can make Western Larch Caravan, wood oil, Western Larch Timber, 1 storage height, mag defense, physical defense, max health. Matter of fact, I could actually... That's Western Larch Timber. I don't have Western Larch Timber, do I? I have Eastern Hemlock. I can make those. Make, what, 9 of those? Yeah, make 9 of those. We'll just use those. We'll submit. We'll start that job. Costs 3 silver. And now I need a... It's going to take 4 minutes. And now I need a wood oil. So I have the wood oil. And once I get the Eastern Hemlock, I can make an Eastern Hemlock Caravan Carriage. Now, I don't know if my ram can pull it, or if I could just summon it, or whatever, but I can make one and then put stuff in it. Matter of fact, I could probably pack lumberjacking a construction crate and then just pack it full of wood. Almost full of wood. Matter of fact, I can cut this tree down and then I'll do it. Watch this be heroic. Nope, just regular wood. Hate it when it does that. Right click goes flying off the screen. Add this, and then we just... Creating crates doesn't really give you anything except a crate that you can carry. Doesn't give you experience or anything. And you can drop it off for materials in a settlement, but there's 2 minutes left on that. As soon as I get that, I can put it on a caravan, and I don't know if there's a settlement looking for it. Factory, smithy, laboratory, textile mill, trade bureau, farm, factory, factory, stoneworks, smithy. probably should have gotten in the water and rowed around again. As soon as I got up that hill, I should have gotten in the water. Ugh. My buffoonery knows no bounds. So are they looking for the services? Are they looking for something? Active buy orders. Furniture, standard tools, preserved foods. So they're looking for medium armor. They don't have any active buy orders. They don't have any active buy orders. And they have medium armor, quality weapons, and travel rations. So none of those are looking for anything good. What about down here? Yes, you can actually do just trade caravans if you wanted. Active buy armors. Buy orders. Standard tools, wine, bricks. Ingredients is oaks and granite. Oak, wood, and granite. I don't have oak. They're looking for bricks and bricks. They're looking for ash timber, oak timber, granite fragments, basalt fragments, preserved foods. Basic furniture. Ash wood, bluegill. Is it bluegill warrior? Is it a 2-1 charge for 2? I went there. Basic weapons. Eastern hemlock wood. Standard weapons. They need copper and eastern hemlock wood. Suppose I could just take the stuff anywhere. I don't think it's specifically has to be there. I might be able to just drop it off in the next village and be like, there you go. And turn it in. They might need it. Who knows? Maybe add it to their stores, add it to their coffers or something. We're going to try it. We're going to finish this, and then you'll see down here. Actually, you won't see it because I'm in the way. Actually, just give me 2 seconds here. But disappear so I can show the EXP gain. You'll see in a second here, after it goes to, and it says claim, you'll see down here where I get my experience. So you'll see right down here, it wasn't highlighted. We hit claim, and then we send it to inventory, and you can see right there, 450 lumber miller experience, but I earned 720 experience, but the debt was removed. So you see, you can make experience just by crafting, which is not a bad thing, because that's something that you kind of want to do. No, I don't want ash caravan, you fool. I want an eastern hemlock. And then... aha! And right there it is. Can I not? I can't even use it. I can't equip it either. Why can't I equip it? Hold on. Wait. Drop the crate. Can I equip it now? No. Well, I don't know how to use the carriage. I'll have to Google that. But anyway, I have a crate, and I'm going to try to deliver it sometime in the near future, and I'm also going to try to get out on the high seas. I'm also going to see how to fish, because I kind of want to learn how to fish. Because I have a fishing pole. I have a novice fishing pole. So I kind of wonder how to fish. But anyway, I hope that everybody enjoyed this video, and even though I didn't get anywhere without dying twice, I hope everybody enjoyed this video, because I know I did. I absolutely love this game. It reminds me a lot of, like, Archeage, but less goofy. And it allows you to do pretty much everything without having to go out and grind and kill mobs and do quests like that. If you wanted to just sit around here and get levels by harvesting timbers and becoming a woodcutter and then selling your wares, you can. It's 100% doable. The only drawback is you kind of need the dull glint to make money to process the stuff. So outside of that, yeah, I mean, you can definitely make something of yourself in this game by doing anything, which is awesome. Oh, the penalty, the EXP penalty. In the beta, they had EXP penalties in WoW. because I was going to talk about that. And matter of fact, I told them to bring that back in Classic Plus if it exists. If the game exists. I said put in an EXP penalty. So you go from rested, which is 200 EXP, to normal, which is 100 EXP, to fatigued, which would be 75% EXP, or exhausted, 50% EXP. And the reason I say that is because that would stop people. It would sufficiently slow people down from sitting there in front of their PC and no-lifing the game for 3 days, putting their health at risk. And it would also prevent gold farmers from just cycling out frost mages, and you just cycle out players while they're playing 8 hours a day between 3 players, or for 24 hours they're sitting there just channeling frost spells, farming. That would stop that. And it would put a severe damper on getting those mages levels. That's the only reason I say that. Other than that, they need to do that. It'd be one of the things that they need to do. To be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, because I know I did. Hope everybody has a fantastic evening, a wonderful tomorrow, and as always, have a good one.